Hiya, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris News.
Pop it.
Rocket.
Planet. See it.
There's a bit of a theme going on there. Did you see it? Did you get that? Did you hear it?
I did notice. I've just realised I popped out of the room momentarily and Hugh's readjusted the camera, but now if I sit where I want to sit, I'm kind of out of shot. So I'm just going to readjust my microphone so that I'm where I need to be.
You're sitting as if I
Offend me.
Yeah. Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney pals, and welcome to another Disneyland Paris Show. It's February. We all made it. We made it through January.
Can I just say,
only medium amounts of political drama.
this isn't a popular opinion, but I had a great January.
Me too, but I always do.
One of the best ever.
Really? What made it one of the best ever January?
There was lots of photograph taking and long walks, and there was the odd sunny day. And what else did we do? We went to a really nice service station.
Nice.
Last week.
Brilliant.
There's
We
more.
walked around some scrub line behind a service
There's
station.
more on that later, actually.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, so we're well into the year now. There's no going back. Your warranty's expired. And it's Groundhog Day.
It's getting lighter in the mornings.
It is. It's getting lighter in the mornings. Huzzah to
Huzzah,
all.
indeed.
Right. Well, who's here to join us in February? Who is going to Disneyland Paris in February?
Ooh.
This month.
Go on, we'll wait. You want me to play a jingle?
Oh, I'd love you to, yeah.
Who are they?
I didn't realise that was a segue. I do apologise.
You're almost telling us off as well. Charlene was first in the chat today. Hang on a minute. Am I the first in the chat? Says Charlene. Yeah. So well done. Joey is here. Joey's second in the chat and says, "Hey lovelies, can't wait for the podcast. It makes me Sundays.
It makes me Sundays.
It makes me Sundays. Question this week is, what Disney book do you love to read the most? Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Ooh.
Existing or imaginary? Existing.
Probably.
I bought a book, the shop next to Gaston's Tavern in Disney World. I can't remember what it's called. But bought a book called Women of Imagineering that I've never got round to reading because it's quite a dense kind of sit and read it book as opposed to a picture book. But it's also too big to hold in your hand or take on the bus.
Yeah.
Do you know the type?
Yeah, I do.
So I'm a bit I need to commit to that. I need to decide I'm going to start reading it and then sit in my bedroom and read it a bit. But it looks really good. So that's on my bucket list.
I mean, as you probably would imagine, I haven't spoken about this for quite a long time now, but it's quite difficult for me to choose one book. I have a library full of Disney books. I have to say, they drew as they pleased. The 5 books of that collection are absolutely brilliant by Didier Getz. It's nice little sections about different artists, animators from different periods of Disney's various ages, and loads of concept art and pictures you don't see anywhere else as well. They are really, really nice to look at. I wouldn't say they're reading books, they're good to look at. But it's really difficult to say, really difficult. There's so many books that I used when we were doing the classics to help me form opinions and things, but I've not looked at them for such a long time. So probably a DLP book, maybe the Phantom Manor book. I quite enjoyed that, and I quite enjoy reading the interesting translations from French to English where they get it a little bit wrong. I love that. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mine would probably be, Chris, the book you got me, the Star Wars Archives episodes. What is that? 4 to 6, 1977 to 1983, published by Taschen, by Paul Duncan, who you can catch him on social media, and he replies to you. Chris gave me that book. What was it? 4 years ago or something?
I think so. Yeah.
And I was reading it on the toilet because it's a good bog book. And I didn't tell you, Chris, but I finished it like 2 weeks ago.
Does that mean you're going to start the next one?
Have I got another one?
Yeah, I got you both of them.
Did you?
Yeah, it's red. It's not red because you haven't read it, but it's red. It's a red book.
Where
I
is
definitely
it?
got you it for a Christmas present a couple of years after the first time.
Well, I need to find it then.
I'm saying definitely. I might not have done, but
Yeah,
I'm 99% sure I have.
I don't think you did.
Allow me to go through my sales
Because I would have
history.
put it next to the other one by the side of the toilet.
Interesting. Well, in which case, if you want it, I can lend you it.
Yeah, but it might take 4 years, and it might have some stains in it when it gets back to
Well,
you.
I haven't read it yet, and I read mine in the box as well.
Oh, no.
Anyway, so thanks for that question, Joey. Next in the chat. Where are we? Right.
Shall I fill some air
Do you know
for
what?
you?
Joey did correct herself when I said it makes me Sundays, and she put my underneath, but I like the fact that it said me Sundays. We've got John. John says, "Evening, gang. I hope everyone's had a magical week. It's my birthday tomorrow. Woo-hoo! You know what to do, Chris? Do you?
I do. I know what to do. I do this. Oh my word, where is it? This.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Hope you have a great time, John. Bonnie is here, and she's waving a pink hand. Therian Girls XD is here. Andrew says, "Hello, question for this week. Is Skeleton Crew actually Star Wars?" Now, we went to Skeleton Lake Services, as we mentioned last week. Sorry. I think he meant Skeleton Crew.
Ah.
See how I linked those two
No,
things?
it's
Yeah,
beautifully done there. Yeah,
Thank you
well
very
done.
much.
Should be
We
proud.
have just finished it. Last weekend, was it? We finished watching it. We really enjoyed it. It does have a very different feeling to Star Wars, but at the same time, it does feel Star Warsy enough. But I like it. You know, it's one of the best new Star Wars things that's been.
It's also, do you know, they're very smart because they had a few flops and some like lukewarm things, but this one is definitely child friendly and it's definitely marketed for children, and the main four characters are children. And so we watched it with Bonnie, and it became a far more kind of, let's all sit and watch this as a family, and it became a thing in our house, as opposed to just one of many box sets that me and Hugh watch after at bedtime kind of thing, of which there is an oversaturation of the market these days, as we all know.
Yeah.
So it's, highly recommend Skeleton Crew.
I watched the first episode of it and was really, really enjoying it. Do you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember the film The Explorers?
No.
It's about a bunch of kids who find a spaceship and end up going up into space in it.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of.
Just like Skeleton Crew.
It's got those kind of vibes. So it's very, very. I'm enjoying it very much, but I just haven't got around to watching any more of it yet. I don't know if I watch it with the kids because they don't like to watch telly with me unless it's got Mr. Beast in it.
My one complaint about Skeleton Crew is the number of times they say the name Atin.
They say it like every
I want to make a little montage of it because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Atin, and some people pronounce it Atin, and some say Atin.
Yeah.
And it's like every minute someone says it's the name of a planet. And it gets quite annoying.
You can imagine as an actor, you have to really kind of put your teeth in for that one, you know. So
Atin.
everyone does seem to like, if a sentence has got it in, it works up to that word. You know what I mean? Atin.
Nick says, "Evening, everyone. I don't just have one favourite Disney book, but I have every single Disney twisted novels, and I love reading the junior novels of Disney films, but my favourite autobiography is Walt Disney by Neil Gabler."
I've read that one, very enjoyed that one. I also read a couple of the Twisted Tales. They're quite fun.
Jimmy's here. Guess what Jimmy's doing?
Waving pink hand.
Pink hands, a go.
Excellent.
Miles is here. We'll visit DLP this month, first time.
Yay, Miles!
You made it. Andrew says, evening, 36 days to Disney, but just 34 days to Paris itself.
Well,
Chris is looking at me.
I don't know, I was just looking.
All right, I thought you had something to say.
No, I thought I keep looking at the computer screen and not at the camera. And
Well,
I was missing you.
let me just say with a mention of Paris. You know, sometimes I get those little nuggets that aren't quite worthy of putting on the news headlines, but also I want to tell you about. The Disney 100th exhibition that was in London for about 4 months last year is moving to Paris, and the tickets are now on sale. So if you didn't manage to catch it in London, or you are not UK based, it might be a nice little 2-stop holiday that is doing Disneyland Paris and the 100th exhibition.
Mon Dieu.
You managed to make it with work.
I've done a
didn't
little video on it, and
Yeah.
my glasses are formed by the 2 O's in the 100 on the thumbnail. It's very clever.
Is that like the goggly eyes you gave us the other week?
Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. Pat says, hey, Disney gang. And we got Kelfie23 and Jen is here. 6 weeks DLP for Jen. Ed is here, as is Julia. Hello. Kelfie says, Efteling and Europa Park booked for Easter.
Nice.
Florida booked for August. It's all go, isn't it?
So you're doing Efteling along with your
We're going to go to
Eurocamp?
Efteling, yeah, for a day visit, day trip.
Very good.
I was trying to remember
the plan
who
anyway.
was going there, but it was you.
It's me. I haven't booked it yet, but that is the plan.
But
plan
you've
is
booked
there.
the Eurocamp that's down the road
Book
from
the
it. haven't
Eurocamp
you?
that's down the road. It'd be
Yeah.
really, really silly of us not to go when we're literally 15 minutes from the place, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? So I
Yeah.
think we'll have to.
The coolest pasty of them all is here. Cool pasty. Says, good evening. Hope you're all well. Are we all well?
Yeah, I am actually.
Yeah.
I would give myself an 8 out of 10, which is
Yeah.
pretty good for
You well,
someone of
Bonnie?
my time of life.
Yes. Joyce says, I need to get the Phantom book. Karen says, my colleague got me the book Imagineering. So beautiful. It's not a reading book, but going over it, scrolling. Boy, that's horrible spelling. Sorry. Says Karen.
I've got quite a lot of Disney books that are like nearly a 3-sized big coffee table scrolling books, and slightly different but same thing, the Art of Harry Potter book as well. And they sit there looking beautiful on my shelf, and then every so often I want to show Bonnie something, or I've got something I want to look at and I get them down. I think these are amazing.
Yeah.
What we need is an actual coffee table to put them on.
This room would suit a low mid-century coffee table. You know, the one that's kind of like
Yeah,
irregular shape.
I know the one you mean.
Oh, yeah.
We'd need to stretch the walls out by a couple of metres though, otherwise we'd trip over it. Different conversation, really.
Anyway, we've also got Mal, and Tanya says, hey everyone, won't be able to stay the whole show, but once I could at least join in at the beginning. So good to have you for a little bit, Tanya.
Yeah, every
Lisa
little
says,
counts.
sorry I'm late, and you like this, Lucy. I was finishing the latest episode of Severance with the other half.
Oh, I haven't started it yet.
Oh
I
my
keep forgetting
God.
about it.
You see, I prefer, usually when they do weekly releases, I know this isn't Disney, I'm not even going to apologise, it's the best thing that's been on TV in a decade. When they do weekly releases, we like to wait for 6 weeks so we can binge it. But this is something like, I wake up on a Friday morning going, it's Severance Day.
It's nice to watch it and then watch some theory videos afterwards, and
Yes.
just take your time with it.
Yeah. Maybe watch it again midweek if you've got time. Oh, is that just me?
Oh man, no, I'm just saying that sounds great. I completely forgotten about Severance. That means I've got something I can watch. How many episodes are we in now? 3?
We're into
3,
3, yeah, and it does not disappoint.
Oh, brilliant.
And finally, Swords of Light says, enjoyable show. You have a nice energy. Oh, thanks.
Cute.
Swords of Light.
We have a non-chat message as well that I'd like to read out. This is
Yes.
from Lauren Wright. It says, with big X's around it, I'm ignoring you for the next 3 shows.
Oof.
So that we have a few hours
blame
content for
you.
the drive from Leeds to Folkestone. Give us a shout out in the show so my future self can have a chuckle. Now, I replied to this on Facebook and said that is a shameless plug. She has no shame whatsoever. But she says it's from Lauren, as you know already, Hugh,
I worked that out.
and Aoife.
Aoife.
But also Gareth and Milo, but they don't usually listen, so maybe leave them out.
Okay.
After all, there's only 17 sleeps till Disney, she says. And I think it's worth pointing out, if she's missing the next 2 shows, we probably need to give her a shout out on the next 2 shows as well and just try and remember.
We'll see how far she is. So if she's driving from Leeds by now, she'll be like just passing Sheffield, and then we can give her another shout out next week when she gets to Leicester.
In an hour and a half or so, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet we forget.
Fabulous.
I bet we do.
It gives me a spooky Friday.
Have a nice time, guys.
Friday the 13th feel that, because there might be some like life change. What if they start another lockdown like in 2020, but in the next 2 weeks, and she can't go?
Don't be so negative,
I know,
Lucy.
I'm sorry.
Don't be so
But
negative.
I don't like talking to the future. It's too
We've
freaky.
been told we've got a nice energy, Lucy. Come on.
Right.
Buzzkill.
Should we get on with some news?
Yes.
Yes.
For God's sake, yes. Shut her up. She's off on one. Right. Pop it.
Pop it.
Pop
They
it.
started selling pop it.
No, they haven't. There's so many things that could be pop in Disneyland Paris, but the one I'm going for is the annual pass pop-up surprises. These are meet and greets that are for annual pass holders only, and they generally occur. That's a new take on that word. Can you stop that, boys?
Yes, we've stopped it
please?
now.
Thank you. In the arcade area at the back of Hyperion, generally speaking, they tend to be rare characters. They tend to be unique characters. They tend to follow a season or a theme.
Rare meats.
And so the next kind of batch is from the 7th of February, which is next Friday, to the 2nd of March. Reservations are now open on the annual pass holders portal, but they haven't told us who they are yet.
Ooh.
Unless they've told us on the annual pass holders portal, and
What's
I can't go on
the
there.
rarest character you could meet?
Do you know what? They wouldn't do this for annual pass because it's too many people, but meeting all 7 dwarves and Snow White is a thing that you can do. Dwarfs.
Thank you.
What about the fish from Lilo and Stitch that has the sandwiches? It's got a name, but I can't remember what it's called. That'd be a pretty rare meet and greet, wouldn't it?
What about the water from Moana?
You just open the door and a bucket of water gets chucked in.
It's just a bucket sat in the room.
Oh,
and they go, oh, see, that's the water there.
Gale from Frozen.
It's a bit like when you meet BB-8 and you quickly become aware that BB-8's not going to be moving around too much. Bless him. You're like, oh, there he is on that platform.
Hannah says it might be Jeffrey. That would be a very rare meet and greet.
I wonder what that would sound
Can you
like.
imagine all the disappointed Disney fans if they walk in and it's Jeffrey?
It's a pleasure to meet you. And I say meat, spelled M-E-A-T, because we've had some mishaps with the spelling of meat, M-E-A-T. And I tell you this for sure, I'm rare, but I ain't for eating.
Very good.
Come on now.
Okay. Well, that was my first one. That was Pop It. But I'm salivating for some tiki cup action.
These jingle segues are coming thick and fast today.
I keep throwing balls, so you know when you can catch. Oh, okay.
We tried to buy some of this in cans yesterday from Morrison's, but it was coming up at the till at like £7 for 8 cans. And we thought that's not right. And it's Dr. Pepper Cherry Crush. Someone at work gave me one in a can, and I liked the design of it so much. And then Lucy saw it, and she said, "Oh, can we get this for the show?" And I said, "Look, see the leaf on the cherry is also lips."
Oh yeah.
But I love especially on the cans. Not sponsored. The design's brilliant. It's just my kind of thing. It's chunky lettering, big bold graphics, simple colours. I love it. Bonnie's got some too to try.
Now I don't know if this is like it's synesthesia, isn't it, or something like that, where you relate what you see with one sense to a different sense, so what you see can affect what you taste.
Okay.
But the design of the cherries on that logo are just like the gummy cherries that you get, and this tastes just like gummy cherries. Am I crazy?
It does have a Parma Violets vibe to it.
I think it tastes like cherry lips.
That's what I mean, cherry
Yeah,
lips.
it
That's
tastes
what
like
I'm trying
cherry
to
lips.
say. Yeah, the gummy cherries.
You would hope so, because it is cherry flavoured. What do you think, Bonnie? Yum.
Bonnie says yum.
It's sugar-free. 8 servings. We've managed to get, well, it will be 5 servings by the time I've had that last bit. Or
Okay.
Lucy might have it.
It's okay.
Yeah.
What I find strange about it is, to me, Dr. Pepper, I've always thought it was a bit of a cherry flavour in it, but it's not. It's kind of sherbety, isn't it?
It's
Kinda
like
sherbety.
it's like mixed fruits or something, but I've always thought of it as a cherry drink. It used to be when I was a teenager. I didn't have much fizzy drinks, but it was my fizzy drink of choice was a Dr. Pepper.
It tastes like the stick in a double dip.
Right.
There's Dr. Pepper. That's what I always think.
Now I'm Pepsi Max, especially Pepsi Max Mango, as you know. Raspberry was the
anywhere
best.
at the
Pepsi
moment.
Max Mango.
Pepsi Max Raspberry was the ultimate.
That's enough pop talk with
We've had Pop It, and now we've had Pop.
Pop talk, pop it talk. Karen has just confirmed that the pop-up surprises are fully booked.
Boom.
Are they fully booked for the whole month, or have you just checked the days you're there and you've had some bad luck? I mean, that's extreme, isn't it? This is the thing. If that was me with an annual pass and going and it was booked up, I would feel a bit shortchanged.
But how good will you feel if you're one of the exclusive people who've managed to get in and do it?
I know. They really are kind of playing into the obsessive fans' hands with these new perks, aren't they? The hard ticket events and the exclusive meet and greets, they know their market so well.
I think one of the restaurants should do exclusive meats. Zebra, ostrich.
Oh, I like ostrich. Have you had ostrich?
No. I think the wildest thing I've had is boar.
Boar. I've had crocodile.
Is it?
Yeah,
Lucy's had puffin and whale
And reindeer.
and reindeer.
It was when we went to Iceland. We went to an Icelandic
It was just the red nose though.
a tapas place, and they had an Icelandic tapas tasting menu, and it was just loads of that was where I had the best lobster of my life.
I can't remember what I had there, but it was something like a burger.
Yeah.
It was something like
Sven burger.
maybe spaghetti bolognese or something like that. Lucy's having all this exotic stuff, and I was just on spaghetti bolognese or something like that.
Spag bol.
Our
Nice.
next bit of news.
Oh, more news.
She's moving on.
Planet.
Planet.
Not like the celestial bodies.
We should have introduced these like the game Bop It, shouldn't we?
I've got a celestial body.
So, the local authorities have presented an update to the Disneyland Paris master plan by 2036. This is when this is how I understand this to be, and people can correct me in the chat if I haven't understood this article properly. But when Disney signed the contract for to do theme parks on this patch of land back in the late 80s, it was with a length of time in mind, what they could and couldn't do, what expansions, how they could use the land and stuff like that. So in recent years, Disney have been working up a plan of the works that they want to do by the end of this period, which ends in 2036. And so they've now finalised that plan and presented it to the local authorities. Maybe not finalised. They've given their current version of that plan to the local authorities. So this is the next 11 years. And it includes Phase 2 of the Disney Village, which kind of... Hang on, I'm going to get my photos out so I can
Nice
tell
model,
you.
isn't there? There's a really nice model of it.
Who doesn't like an architectural model, eh?
Exactly.
You
yeah,
know,
I agree.
Looking all miniature with the little trees.
Miniature.
So, yeah, the second phase of the Disney Village is kind of going... If you go between the back of the steakhouse and the back of Rainforest Cafe towards where McDonald's is now, McDonald's is getting moved, and that area, presumably on the land where McDonald's currently is going to sort of be opened up to get its own plaza. So that's the first thing, expansion of the
McDonald's Plaza.
Plaza.
Barring stuff,
Loving
Valderup are getting more offices and housing projects. Good for Valderup.
Awesome.
We're really happy about that for them. That's so good for you. But then the most exciting
Love
thing.
that for you.
Go on.
We called this in our armchair imagineering sessions, didn't we?
Did we?
Where the big kind of exhibition centre that's just like a hut is, but it's a massive hut between Earl of Sandwich and Newport Bay. They are now building a new Disney hotel. So we are now going to have... Will this be the 8th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be the 8th. Disney Hotel.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It will be the 8th. You're right.
7, 8.
Did you all hear?
Right,
It took me a bit longer.
Did
than
you all
me
hear
too.
the grey matter then?
Yeah, it was
whirling
going
over.
round.
So we're now going to have.
We're going to have another hotel to be closed.
Don't forget Davy Crockett.
Frequently and being refurbished.
So yeah, this is my question. First of all, what will the theme be? Now, I really, 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 really hope that they really go in strong with a theme.
This is where we should be digging out that episode and saying, go back and listen to that episode that we did where we talked about how this hotel could be themed.
Oh,
What was your
yes.
theme? Mine was Asgard, and it had a Bifrost lift,
Yes, it
or
did.
elevator, or a bridge, or something.
Mine was probably disgruntled Disney fans, wasn't it, or something? I don't know.
I wanted, and this isn't going to happen, but I wanted the Endor tree houses. That wouldn't happen, but how nice would that be? Anyway, I really hope they're going in strong with the theme, because there has been in the American parks a bit of a bend towards Hilton hotels. You know, a nice little Four Seasons thing with a couple of Mickey icons on the curtains.
Boring.
Disneyland Paris so far has, even with the 2 it's recently refurbished, the Art of Marvel got more theming, not
Yep.
less.
Yep.
And they've still gone with the wedding cake thing for the Disneyland Hotel. So I'm hoping that they'll stick to that. Because to me, currently the dullest one is Newport Bay, and you couldn't say that that's not themed. It's very nautically themed. Andrew Palmer says the Furchester Hotel. Oh gosh, we used to watch that with a little toddler Bonnie, didn't we?
Furchester.
Oh man,
Do you remember the
Furchester
it was the
Hotel.
Muppets. Well, not the Muppets, but puppets in a hotel.
There were Muppets. Were there not Muppets?
Yeah, they were Muppets.
Oh,
It was like,
Because some real Muppets were in it. Some of the proper Muppets were in it, weren't they?
was Elmo?
Elmo was in it. Yeah.
I just saw a realization dawn on Bonnie's face. Then you know when a memory comes from the past up into your eyeballs.
There's a song in my head, but I can't get it out about when they figured it out, when they figured out the mystery, because they have to solve the mystery every episode, don't they?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, anyway, we get lost on that.
What else we got?
I would like to see
Ed says Pixar Hotel. Says Ed.
Pixar. Yeah, would be good.
Could imagine that.
Anything kind of big and over animated, like the World of Sports and World of Animation and
Pop
stuff is always
Century.
good. Pop Century, those.
I'd
ones.
like to go on the theme of the village, because obviously it's right on the village, to go down the route of something like Royal Hotel and have like an English themed hotel that's like a Premier Inn. I think that'd be really nice.
Having said that, a Tudor-esque hotel would be really quite nice, as long as they did it properly.
Premier Inn, purple.
Oh, don't do that.
Travel lodge.
No.
Andrew wants a Finding Nemo themed hotel with swirly sea sounds and fake coral.
Yeah.
That would be lovely. Again, I don't think this is the best place for it next to Lake Disney, but I would like to see a Far East hotel that's themed after the traditional Orient. I know the Orient is no longer the correct term for that area, but I mean in terms of like Thailand, Vietnam, that kind of peninsula.
I'm worried that the mistakes they make in America with the Star Wars IP means that they're going to shy away from doing anything Star Wars. Like a Star Wars hotel could be brilliant, as long as it wasn't that ridiculous experience that flopped in Florida. Just like a really cool Star Wars themed hotel, not immersive. It just looks cool
In the shape of,
and I don't think
Darth Vader's helmet.
well, yeah, but with Mickey ears.
We were watching.
I don't think they dare do it now because of that, and it's such a shame because it could still work.
Now, Tanya's just said
Precisely.
to keep in the style of the USA places, I'd say Hawaiian would be cool. Now that's true, because what we're forgetting is that the 7 that we've already got all represent an area of the US. So you've got the Sequoia National Parks, you've got New York, you've got Newport Bay, which is that like New Hampshire? I think. I don't know. My American geography's not great.
Wild West.
You've got the Wild West, you've got New Mexico, and then you've got,
Yes, but there's been a massive push towards IP over the last few years, and that, to my mind, means that they're not going to go down that kind of route anymore. But the other thing worth noting is this is now going to be the second closest hotel to the parks, which means it's going to be a premium, isn't it?
It is 100%.
So it's not going to be music.
Ooh.
Pop music, whatever it's called. Or
No, because those are the budget ones.
it's not going to be something like that.
Yeah.
It's just going to they're going to go all out. I reckon like Art of Animation or something like that. The Pixar type thing would be a
Yeah.
prime, I would say.
Paul says Tron themed hotel.
That would
Made
be
it for a
cool.
live show at last. Well done, Paul.
I-
Inside Out or Moana says John. And Cool Pasty says the Toy Story Hotel in Japan looks amazing. Something like
Yes.
that would be good. What else? There was one more. Oh, Joey said, I bet it will be Lion King themed. I bet it will. I bet it will.
What is it with Paris and Lion King?
They love it.
Honestly,
It's the desert.
they just won't put it down, will they? Just like sticking to the fingers. Get rid of it. I hope this means, given what you've just said, I hope this means they relatively downgrade Newport Bay a bit, because it's never struck me as being worthy of the. Oh, I want to be careful what I say, but quite worthy of the price point. Like the jump from Sequoia Lodge to Newport Bay is a big old jump, as opposed to some of the other jumps in the category. And I think if they're doing one that is going to be priced equivalent to the Art of Marvel, probably, they need to make Newport Bay the equivalent to Sequoia Lodge, I think. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on that?
I think it has to be, doesn't it?
It's been a long time since I stayed at Newport Bay. You've stayed more recently than me, and you've stayed. Have you stayed at Sequoia? Yeah.
I stayed at Sequoia last
Yeah, you
time,
have.
and we stayed there in 2020, didn't we?
Yeah.
We stayed at Newport Bay.
That's true. So would you say one is significantly more luxurious than the other, or?
I
'Cause-
mean, if we're being absolutely honest about all of these places, the hotel rooms are the same.
Yes.
Really. Ultimately, they're the same. They're just themed differently. So there wasn't a huge difference. The big difference when we stayed at Newport Bay was that we were in the Golden Compass. Golden Compass. Golden Compass?
No, that's Sequoia
That's
Lodge.
Golden Forest.
Golden Forest. Oh, no, maybe it is.
Compass Club.
Compass Club, yeah.
Yeah, I was just mixing the two together.
Yeah.
And the Compass Club rooms were really good, but there were still just rooms with 2 double beds in.
Yeah.
And that's what they are, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's big. Does
Yeah.
that count? It's big. It feels massive.
It's
The corridors
really
feel
big.
Huge.
I just really love Sequoia. It would have to be the same price for me to do Newport Bay, because I love Sequoia so much. It's so my style. Anyway,
I like Newport Bay a lot. I did. I can't pretend I didn't. I far prefer Sequoia Lodge. And I think I prefer Cheyenne as well if the location was a little bit closer. But Newport Bay was really good. It was really, really good.
but exciting. I mean, it might be 11 years before any of us get to stay there. But exciting that we're going to have another hotel. Bish, bash, bosh. Anything you guys want to talk about before I plough on?
No.
I'm good, thanks.
I've just
I'm
noticed.
just here for the drinks.
I've just noticed you're wearing this Disney shirt, and I've got a matching dress to that.
It's my Hawaiian Mickey shirts.
We wore matching outfits on our
I've got it
10th
open
wedding
with this,
anniversary.
with a Darth Vader t-shirt underneath. It's like completely doesn't match. Because this, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm poorly dressed. Let's be honest.
But
But I look kind of cool.
yeah.
No such thing with the
Tanya
frame
said,
like
by
this.
the way, on the Hawaiian theme, you can go Lilo and Stitch, with Stitch being so popular in Paris, which, of course, Stitch is very popular in Paris. But then you could also go into space if you wanted to do Lilo and Stitch, couldn't you? Hey?
I guess, yeah.
Hey?
Yeah,
Hey?
yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Could you?
You know how I feel about Lilo and Stitch. I mean, it's fine, but I don't. Again, it's a bit like Lion King. I'm not sure it's worthy of the attention it gets, really. Anyway.
Ooh, don't say that around Oliver.
I know. I'm striking a chord.
Most of our viewers stroke listeners.
I know. I'm sorry. Each to their own, though. You know.
I think if they did it Stitch themed, everyone on the desk should greet you with "Hi," and they could only get that job if they could do that.
Rocket.
That would get tired very quickly.
Right. This is only worthy of notice because we've talked about it before. They've released a new trailer for the music festival. Have you seen this one?
Have you seen this? You heard about this?
No.
Because we talked about the one before that was really strange. It was like they were advertising Party in the Park, wasn't it? They just had some
I
like...
have seen it. Sorry, yes.
No, that was the old
No,
one.
I've seen the new one as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I have seen it.
So they just didn't show anything Disney at all except Baloo trying to like grope a woman, and then it
Don't
was
say that.
sorry, and then it was loads of
She
teenagers.
didn't mean that.
Have
Anyone
you made a
listening?
timestamp there?
Yeah.
Okay. And then it was just loads of teenagers in crop tops, like punching the air and jumping up and down, and there wasn't much to it. It was strange. Anyway, it's like the herders. So they've done this big like pop music thing where it's all characters, and they've got Miguel in silhouette, and then he's playing his guitar, and then he's revealed, and then they have Donald and Daisy in these like Harlequin Italian outfits, and then they're revealed, and it's just a lot better.
Oh,
Do
sorry,
you think it's
better.
awful?
What, Daisy going, and all these funny little sound effects in the background. It's really weird.
I haven't seen it.
It is incredibly weird. That's what I thought of it. Bizarre.
No,
Just bizarre.
it's more that it actually says there's a thing going on in Disneyland Paris, and I can imagine what that thing is, and this thing will include these characters and this music, and that's what's going to happen, as opposed to the other trailer
Okay,
that just weird and said nothing.
But this this was weird and said something. That's the main difference. It was just weird. I found it really strange.
I really like Coco. That could be. Oh, it's not technically America, is it? It's Mexico. But I'd be happy with the Coco Hotel. Very happy with that kind of thing.
Oh, and you have to walk over all the autumnal leaves to get in. Like
That would be
bridge.
amazing. They could do that. Disney could do that.
The entrance could be over the Lake Disney, so you had to go to where Sequoia is and walk over it to get into the hotel, and that was the only way in.
Then it'd have to be 2 stars because the walk would be longer.
Yeah,
I think they
it'd be
should
worth it.
theme it. I've got a good idea. They should theme it on Cars 2.
Or planes.
Even though we've already got a Cars themed hotel. Inexplicably. Just have a Cars 2
Yeah.
hotel.
This is where we're
Imagine
putting
how
our
angry
money.
everyone would be. What are you doing?
I would love that.
So the Disney Music Festival begins on the 19th of April, and there will be characters. There will be Timon. Timon was in the advert doing his thing. More Lion King for those who miss it and don't feel they've got enough. So bit more excited about that thing. A few more things happening around that time. Mickey and the Magician reopens the same day. 2 days later on the 21st of April. So I'm going on to the last piece of news now. This is See It. And Frozen, a musical invitation, returns on the 15th of February, which is in 13 days. They've completely emptied the Zoetrope area, though. It's done now. It's gone. It's not there. I know.
You can hear
Devastating.
maniacal laughter in the background as well if you happen to be around at the time.
And I just feel really sorry for all the people who've been listening to us and have got trips planned.
Because of it.
And yeah.
I wasn't going to go to Disney. I heard about this Zoetrope, and now
No, they're all taking their friends, like marching into the studios, going, "Look, I listened to this podcast. They told us about this amazing thing. Come on, you've got to come with me to see it. It's the Zoetrope. It's the
It's the Noah trope.
It's the Noah trope.
the Goa-trope,
No shower trope.
the Goner-trope. The DLP report have posted loads of pictures this week of all the work that's being done, and it's well worth a look because it's kind of exciting. The whole adventure way that goes to Adventure Bay, which is not where Paw Patrol are from, even though that is what Adventure Bay is from, Paw Patrol, which is not Disney. Sorry, I will never stop going on about that.
I know.
But they've got a whole path going down there. The stuff's all done, ready to put up the Rapunzel ride. It looks like if you look in the background, you can see all the park for what's it called? The English Park?
Oh, yeah, the English
British Park,
Garden.
the Royal Pub Park, or
And it's just called the English Garden.
English
I think.
Garden. There you go.
They're just going to call it Slough.
Slough.
Milton Keynes.
Every 5 minutes, a jumbo jet flies really low over the top of it.
They're planting trees. Now, the trees that they've shown on those pictures that you're on about are little sapling trees down the avenue. But what I love is we were all disappointed when they said it wouldn't open until summer 2026. Let's be honest, we thought it'd be next week. It's a shame. But now, if they go they've got the forethought to plant these trees on the avenue now, these are going to be lush, full trees when the park opens, within reason. Within growth, because we've been to new areas before where you can just tell that they've freshly potted some plants and stuck them deplotted some pants and stuck them in the ground, and nothing feels bedded in. If they're doing landscaping now, I've got big hopes for a lot of green. Sorry, Chris, I interrupted you.
You didn't. I mean, I'd finished saying what I was saying, really. I just thought it was a talking point.
It is a good talking point. And also, it's this such huge news for such a long time. And because we do a weekly show, it's very hard to keep up with it, because it's like going, oh, they've put some more tiles on the roof of the Arundel Castle.
Yeah.
But because we haven't talked about it in a long time, and you pointed me towards these pictures this week, I think it is a good opportunity for us to say about how exciting it is.
Well, back in the day when we first started doing all this, Lucy used to turn up quite regularly to these shows with blueprints and stuff of things that were coming and plans and.
Hey, it was a pandemic, man. There was nothing else to
I know,
say.
but it was great. It was really good to be able to have those kind of conversations. But obviously for a show like this, once we've had those conversations, you can't just keep having them over and over and over and over again. But it's nice to see things actually happening. That's what I think.
It is.
And there's bits of boardings and hoardings and stuff starting to come down in little areas, not making any massive difference to what you can see or what's going on, but like the animation theatre place where Frozen is, all the hoardings have come down from that because it's about to reopen. It just feels like, even though we've still got ages till it's all done, this thing's things are moving constantly, and it's good, in it. It's positive.
It's really
Is there
good.
anyone we can just ask, message them and say, hiya, is the Zoetrope coming back? Just someone who can tell us. Someone we can message and they'll answer us.
Come on.
And they'll actually give us an answer.
Because we did say we were going to campaign, and we gave it a title, I think, last week's episode, something to do with the Zoetrope, but...
Who's that cast member we used to have on? Patrick in the chat.
Yeah, he worked in
Patrick,
ticketing.
are you there, Patrick?
Yeah.
We summon you.
Contact Patrick.
Come into the light, Patrick, please.
And if they have got rid of it, do you reckon that they could just give it to us and we could have it?
Yeah. I mean,
we could start the show.
That'd go really nice in your living room.
We could sit around it. That could be the setup.
The show-a-trope.
Yeah.
it can't just be disintegrated, can it? Something like that. It's devastating.
Have you seen this from Lisa? Last year, I booked a stay at Newport Bay. As I'm from Canada, the website defaulted to American dollars. About a week after I made the booking, I was playing around on the site and set my location to France. I discovered that my the same room/dates worked out to be about 200 Canadian dollars cheaper. I decided to take a chance and called Disney to see if I could cancel and rebook at the cheaper rates. And it worked. The lady was so lovely and was happy to help me. It was a great stay. What a happy story.
That is a good story.
What a lovely story.
This is one of those tips, and I'm gonna caveat this with saying I'm not recommend you are doing this. This is a story I have heard other people do, because I'm not sure entirely of the ethics of it. But I know people who use VPNs to go on the Italian website and the Spanish website and the Netherlands website and see if they've got special offers. We have free dining offers, don't we? We have 20% off offers and stuff like that.
Not these days, we don't. We used to.
But all countries have different offers, and I know people who have shopped around to see where the best offers are and have got a much better deal. Having said that, I've also heard from people who live in other countries that they often book with the UK deals, because we travel across a body of water. We do tend to do 4 or 5 nights. So they tend to have the good deals on longer stays.
Oh, there you go.
If that makes sense. So it's all swings and roundabouts. But just saying that's a thing.
Don't be afraid to shop around.
Yeah.
Well, as Mama said, you better shop around.
Did Mama say that?
Yeah, in that song. Better shop around. You know the one.
No, I don't, but all
You
right.
do.
I'll go with
What's the
it.
rest of that song?
I think I'm just
I think you've made it up.
I think it's the one that LV use. The dum diddy dwee dwee dum. I hate that.
That one.
I think that's part of the same song, isn't it? Shop Around by some.
I think that's the end of my news.
Don't play it. Don't you dare play
No,
it.
but
on
I'm
this
just
show.
gonna find it.
I will just say, because I was just reminded by looking down my notes that we are doing 37 Quizney Street in our Patreon show today. So if you are a Patreon pal, you get an extra 20 minutes, and we try to rotate the different things we do. Last week we did a watch along of Dream Productions, didn't we?
Yeah, even though we got the title wrong several times.
Yes. And this week we are doing a 10-question Disney quiz set by yours truly. So if you fancy a go at that, then become a Patreon pal and join us for the last... Patreon pal and join us for the last 20 minutes and you can help with that. Yes, Huey. You look all poised to say something.
Yeah. I was just considering whether to sing this. Let's see if I can remember how to sing it.
It's happening now.
Try to get yourself a bargain, son. Don't be sold on the very first one. Remember this?
No.
No? Now pretty girls come a dime a dozen. Try to find one who's going to give you true loving. Before you take a girl and say I do now, make sure she's in love with you now. My mama told me, you better shop around. About the miracles.
Sometimes I have to have a chat with Bonnie and go, you know our family's not normal, don't you? Just so you know this isn't how the world is.
Someone will know the
Chris
song.
is-
I take time out of my Sundays to come and do this.
Oh, God.
Do you want to do a trip report?
dear.
Have we got time?
Yeah.
If you're done.
Audience trip roundup.
I haven't played that jingle for quite a long
I
time.
know.
So we have 4 trip reports, and the reason I'm saying we have 4, and I'm not going, I'm then opening up to you guys, is because some of them are from quite a while ago. A couple of them are fairly recent. Would you rather a recent one or an older one? Should I do them chronologically? What is your preference?
Chronological, do it for him. I know it means we might get a Christmas one, but it can
And
help people who are booking for next year.
The oldest chronological one belongs to Nick Murray, and
From
we've
last
already
March.
read half of his
Right.
trip report once before. Do we want to go through and do that?
Yes.
Shall I
Yes.
just start from where it ended? I
Yes.
don't think I can. This is quite okay. This is quite a long one, but here we go.
Is it over 1,000
It's
words?
from July last year, which means if you're planning this year's summer holidays, it could be
Yeah.
right up your Disney street.
Yeah.
What?
Nice.
Yeah. Dear guys, here is our trip report from our trip to DLP from July 28th to August 2nd for Nick and Michelle and our 6-year-old daughter Jasmine.
She's like nearly 12 now by the time we got around to this report.
She's learning to drive.
Sunday, 28th of July. Straightforward flight to Charles de Gaulle, then magic shuttle bus to DLP. Checked into Santa Fe Hotel by 11, and our luggage was stored. Keep up here, by the way, I'm talking fast. Luggage was stored for us until our room was ready. We headed straight to the main park, and it was like stepping into your favourite comfy PJs to walk down Main Street and see the castle. We headed to Small World, just to complete... He only wrote it twice, he didn't write it 3 times. Just to complete this comfy feeling, and it was nearly a walk-on.
That's like my dream start to a trip. Everything there, from the luggage hold, everything. Continue.
Oh, nearly a walk-on. This was going to be the same for us all week, as our worries that the Olympics had started 2 days before. God, do you remember the Olympics? That was a long time ago. 2 days before was going to attract a crowd to DLP. Actually, it took them away. We had a leisurely afternoon in the main park and saw a splash of colour parade before going into Adventureland to find something we had never seen before. But it was a good tip from your show. That was Aladdin's Passage, which we were to visit most days of our trip. Then,
Come on, Chris, you can do it.
we then went to Videotropolis. There we go.
Videopolis.
Oh, you can't do it.
I can't do it. We then went to Videotropolis for dinner before heading to our hotel Santa Fe.
Videopolis.
Videopolis.
I'm reading what's written
Oh,
down
okay,
here.
okay. Continue.
Why do you think I stumbled over it? Come on. Sorry, Nick. I apologise.
Nick is here. Nick says Jasmine is going on 13 at times. Lol.
You've been waiting for this. Nick's been tuning in
Yeah.
every week, just waiting
He
for this.
just slammed his cup down and said, "It's about time." Oh, do you know what? We've run out of time, actually.
No.
Oh no, this one
Push on,
stops
push
then. Me being a big kid managed to persuade Jasmine to come back out with me. I've missed the line. Oh jeez.
Come on.
Right, we went.
We'll be back after this short commercial
Play
break.
the end card.
We then went to Videopolis for dinner before heading out to our hotel, Santa Fe. Me being a big kid, we managed to persuade Jasmine to come out. Being a kid, we managed to persuade Jasmine to come back out with me to the main park to watch the electrical night parade
Yes.
and final light show before heading back for the night. Monday, 29th of July. Hopefully, will be read a lot better than the Sunday. Lovely buffet breakfast. We did not take advantage of the extra hour in the park, which we did not do all week, but this did not affect our getting into the parks in pretty quick time each day. We had a leisurely morning in the main park. Only today did we walk down Main Street. As for the rest of the week, we took another tip from your show and used Liberty Arcade to get from the entrance to Aladdin's Passage each day. Without having to walk in the hot weather, we had all week as well. Oh, because it was hot weather.
Nice.
On there. We found a good spot to watch the main parade, and we went to Small World, a 10-minute wait, then went around Frontierland and went to the Molly Brown before some lunch, which was pain au chocolat and croissant thanks to the buffet breakfast. Oh, nice.
Oh, a little
napkin job.
Napkin fold, yeah.
Napkin job. Hashtag napkin job.
We then headed back to the hotel before coming back out of our restaurant reservation at the Plaza Gardens. This was a character meal, and I was impressed that Becca, I am celiac and I have a hiatus hernia. I only have a children's meal when we go out, and Plaza Garden staff were okay with that and charged us accordingly. Brilliant. We met Hook, Smee, Tigger, Eeyore, Pinocchio and Gestapo. I think that might be...
And the Gestapo.
Oh gosh, I love that. That's my favourite spelling error ever.
Oh dear.
The Gestapo turned up at Plaza Gardens, and the Spanish Inquisition are up in Royal Banquet.
It's from Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Geppetto, I imagine. We then... Oh, help me. We then had a nice stroll around the whole park, Aladdin's Passage and the Small World. Had the Robinson's Treehouse before retiring to the hotel. I apologise, Nick, again for this. This is the first trip report of the year, and I'm struggling. Tuesday, 30th of July, Studio Parks today, and saw Spider-Man on top of the Starks building, and the very mini Wakanda scene, which Jasmine said she could see no sense in it. We then went to...
I see no sense in this, Dad. Can we go?
I see what you mean about
we go back to the hotel
being sometimes.
No cohesion whatsoever.
We then went to Toy Story Land, and I got to meet Woody as a Disney bounded as Woody that day.
Yay!
Nice. We went to our early lunch at Pim's, another tip from your show to get to the restaurant's earlier times. Yeah. Again, this is, I know I'm celiac, but the blue custard just had to be tried.
Oh, yes.
Very impressive buffet layout. Just a shame there is no character meat. We then went to see Stitch live, and then Together, the Pixar musical. Both these shows were really enjoyable. Michelle headed back to the hotel after this because of the heat, and me and Jasmine potted around a while longer before heading back for a while. Me and Jasmine came back out to the main park for a while to go through Aladdin's Passage, the Treehouse, and the Adventure Playground, and Small World before calling it a night. Wednesday, the 31st of July. Back to the main park today. We had a character breakfast at Plaza Gardens, which was really enjoyable and had a great interaction with Stitch, Eeyore, Tigger, Pinocchio and Smee. No Gestapo this time. Sorry. We were in the position outside to watch the parade, then went on our daily ritual to Aladdin's Passage, and then today went to explore the Skull Cave in Adventureland before going to the playground and then to the treehouse. And then me and Jasmine went on Pirates of the Caribbean, which was only a 15-minute wait.
Nice.
We then headed to a Small World, a 10-minute wait. We had lunch before going to the Curious Maze. And working our way around the next best castle. No, the best castle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The number one castle in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Including, like, actual castles.
Or maybe he means he went to the Curious Maze and then worked his way around the next best castle.
Oh, okay. So
Maybe.
so he did the first best. And
Could
then
be,
he's
could
on
be.
the second best.
We then decided to head back to the hotel for a break out of the heat. We went for a wander to the Hotel Cheyenne as they have a takeaway pizza there, and we sat outside by the fire before retiring to our hotel.
That sounds lovely. We've never done that. Takeaway pizza and sit round. We've never done
That
that.
does sound cool. Thursday, 1st of August, to the studios to start the day. We had a wander around and went to see Mickey and the Magician Show, always a fantastic show to see. And then we went around Toy Story Land and went to Slinky Dog, a 10-minute wait, and then we went to Cars Road Trip, but Jasmine wasn't that impressed with it. We had a walk around Avengers Campus.
I see no sense in this.
I mean, she's not wrong.
She's hard to please, isn't she?
We walked around Avengers Campus and saw a battle between Black Widow and Spider-Man teaming up together on the rooftop. We then park hopped today as we had a reservation at Auberge for the Royal Banquet. This was to be our only negative experience of the week. To start with, I asked, as normally I do, if I could have a children's meal for myself because of my hernia and my celiac condition, but the table waitress said I would have to pay the full adult price. I didn't. I did go and have a discreet word with the manageress, but was informed there was nothing she could do. But the manageress did.
There is. She could just charge you the children's price.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easy.
But she did seem to want to take over our table service. She seemed very confused and concerned when we all refused the starter, which was the same for the children as well, which was a choice of duck pate or pumpkin soup, which we could hear the children from a nearby table saying they were not going to try that.
Your children do not like the duck pate.
Yeah.
What is wrong with it?
They don't. Well, hey, mate, where's your nuggets?
So after a main course and dessert, and finally the princesses noticed Jasmine as no one had been round our table. The manageress asked if we wanted a cup of tea each. As no one else around us were having tea or coffee, we assumed it was because of the starter. It was only a few days after, weeks back, and I checked our receipts that we saw that we'd been charged for it.
Yeah.
I've since complained about our experience there, and DLP have been in touch to say it's standard practice at Auberge, but if we were to go back to DLP within a year, they would honour us 3 meals in an outlet of our choice. Nice.
Fair enough. That'd make me go back.
Waltz. Waltz.
Yes, waltz.
Is that the most expensive restaurant?
Non-character one, I think it is. Yeah.
Wait for this. Wait for this Jean Imbert restaurant to open and ask to go there.
Yeah.
Why not?
Although, if I had to choose, I'd go back to Silver Spur Steakhouse over Waltz. Would you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It'll be a while before we go back to Waltz because our experience wasn't the best. So
No.
but people tell us they love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Like him.
I'm one. I love it. We then headed back to the hotel for a while before Jasmine and me ventured back out of the village for the Lego sets her and Mummy had been eyeing up. We then headed into the studio park and were going to go to the Frozen Adventure, but the last show had started and the queue line was closed. So we headed to the last performance of the day at Alice's Return to Wonderland. After getting onto the show and 5 minutes into the performance, we were told the performance was stopping as there was thunder in the area.
Oh.
Jasmine moaned about this, as by then, which was just after 7, there didn't seem to be any more thunder or rain. So we headed over to the main park and went straight to Jasmine's favourite attraction, Aladdin's Passage, the Treehouse and Small World and the Curious Maze. We then secured a spot for the Electric Sky Parade, but because there was rumbles of thunder, this was cancelled. Jasmine wanted to head back, but I asked if we could watch the Nighttime Spectacular, which we did just before it bucketed down on us.
I really wanted to know what Jasmine's thoughts were on the Alice show as well, because by all accounts, it's meant to be bonkers, and this strikes me as a child who takes no nonsense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I'd love to know her thoughts.
I see no sense.
Is he no sense in this?
I mean, there is no sense in it.
Yeah.
No sense, pa.
Friday, 2nd of August. Park hopping today. We after we checked out of the hotel, first to the studio so we could finally watch Alice's Return to Wonderland, which Michelle did not understand or like that much. But me and Jasmine liked it, and we've watched it a few times on YouTube since. There's your answer.
Ah.
Michelle then headed back to the hotel to sit and rest and retrieve our luggage, ready for the shuttle to the airport. Me and Jasmine took one last trip around the Magic Kingdom and walked around the back of Small World and hit the jackpot because there was Tigger, Captain Hook, Queen of Hearts, Tiana and Aurora, and then the main man that Michelle loves and had not seen all week was Donald. A great end to a great week.
That sounded lovely. Honestly, every time we get a trip report like that, it just makes me want to go back tomorrow. Nick has just said in the chat he saw it on Friday and Jasmine loves the Alice show, but that was echoed in that. Nick, I'm sorry for laughing at your spelling error. I just blame spell check for everything. But the concept of meeting the Gestapo at a Disney meal is going to stay with me for a long time.
Can I be absolutely honest? You don't need to apologise for your spelling, and none of you ever should do.
No.
9 times out of 10, I can skim through it and see what you're trying to say, and I can sort it. The writing was really small on my phone, so I was struggling, and I couldn't think quick enough to get past Gestapo into
I'm so glad you didn't.
I like the idea of saying, excuse me, do you have any ketchup? Viva, ask the questions!
Oh, dear.
Well, we have 2 minutes left. Do we want to do another trip report and risk overrunning? I've got a short one.
Well, Stelly's only just tuning in Australian time, so Stelly needs something.
Well, I've got a short Christmas one.
Let's do a short Christmas one. Yay!
This one comes from Matt Frost. Trip report, Christmas 2024. Short.
How short is it, sorry?
Short but sweet, it says here.
Okay, cool.
It's short but sweet.
Excellent.
We'll see if we can do it in the 2 minutes we have left, which is probably more like 90 seconds now.
Do breathe though, won't you?
I will.
Your colour is worrying me.
4 adults plus 1 3-month-old travelling up from Cornwall on the 19th of December. We stayed overnight in a lovely Airbnb 20 minutes from the shuttle. Up bright and early for the 8 a.m. train over into France. Stopped off in Arras for the Christmas market. Highly recommend to break up the journey. Continuing to Disney, we stayed at the Village de Natures for 3 nights. Me and my partner had one room and our friends and their baby had the other room. Very spacious, but a revamp is needed as the rooms are dated. Full stop. Village de Nature was a perfect place for us to have our base camp as we had the Aquamundo, bowling, restaurants and much more. And not to forget, a very easy 10-minute drive to Disney. Sunday 22nd of December, Disney Day. We purchased 1 ticket for both parks for the day. As we had a little baby with us, we weren't up and about for the park opening, so we took our time, which wasn't a bad thing. We got into the park around 11 a.m, in which we were greeted by the biggest thunderstorm I've ever seen. The skies cleared and we headed straight for the rides. Hyperspace Mountain ×2, Tower of Terror, Avengers, chocolate pancakes. I haven't been on that ride. With us only having... Sorry.
It's crepe.
I love the idea of all this happening at the same time.
It's crepe. With us only having 1 day, we treated ourselves to a meal and Chez Remy, which we booked in advance. Food was excellent and the atmosphere was amazing. On the way out, we caught the Christmas parade, which added to the Christmas feeling, and we left Disney behind feeling very happy. Love the podcast, and thank you for all of you for providing it for us fans. That I really stumbled over that line. P.S. It never fails to make me laugh hearing Hugh shout "news" at the beginning.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's not me on the jingle. It's a clip of a character called what's it called? From the Day to Day or Brass Eye.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's like Hanrahan.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know the
And
one.
you have talked about it when
Yeah.
we first put it in. Didn't you?
It's a clip of him because there's a bit where he's a terrible like news reporter and the anchorman's always like trying to show him up and he says what would it say on your tombstone, and he just goes news.
See, we've overrun by a minute now.
I know,
Tell that
I
story,
know.
Hugh.
Look it up on YouTube. I'm just going to try and find it. Anyway, let's
Right.
wrap it up.
I'm going to wrap up now. Like I say, we're going to do 37 Quizney Street. If you're a Patreon pal, you can join us over there. You should have already had the link. And if you're not, I won't see you next week because I am working. I am adjudicating a dance festival from 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. and it's an hour and a half drive away. So I am going to be tired.
I better get out the Bro Show jingle then.
Yeah, so it's Bro Show next week.
Just the bros. Look up Peter O'Hanrahan
Yes.
on YouTube to find out what I'm talking about.
Okay, the rest of you, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I've been Lucy. These have been the boys. Bye-bye.
News.
See you later. What would it say on your tombstone?
Jokes.